Hi, I'm Linda from Barlates Body Blitz. Welcome to Double Burn Ankle Weights. For today's workout, all you will need is an exercise mat if you're working out on hard floor. Also, I'm not wearing shoes, but if you prefer to, you can. You'll also need something to elevate on, so I'm using my step bench with 3 risers. You don't want anything too high because we will be stepping up on it. Then you've got a set of ankle weights. Mine are just 1 kilo, which is just over 2 pounds. Various dumbbells for bicep curls, shoulder press, bent over lateral raises and a front push. So I've got 3.5 kilos, which is around 8 pounds, 2.5 kilos, which is around 5 pounds, and just a 1 kilo set, which is around 2 pounds. For one of the exercises, I'm going to incline on my fit ball for the bicep curls, but you don't necessarily have to do that if you don't have a fit ball. If you wanted to, you could just do it standing or even seated on your step. We're going to start off with a light warm-up to warm up all the muscle groups that we're going to be using. Then we're going to head into 2 lower body groupings, 2 upper body groupings, and 2 core groupings. Each grouping is going to be broken up into 2 parts, a more intense and a less intense, so that we fully fatigue each muscle group before we move on. So we're going to get started with our warm-up. We're going to come into a side lunge and then sweep the leg across. So it's down and sweep. The arms are just kind of floating through the air, nothing too dramatic with those arms. Doesn't really matter what you do so much with them. We're really focusing on warming up our glutes, our hamstrings, and our inner thighs. We're going to have a tough inner thigh set with those ankle weights. So you want to make sure that you're nice and warm there. Down and across. So I'm hinging forward at the hips. As I come down, I like to do that pretty much in all my squats and lunges, because it helps me to keep my weight in the heels, activating the glutes and protecting my knees. 3 more like this, across, 2, across, and you don't need to reach down as low as me. Now we're just going to the other side, down and across. Lower as you get warmer, but making sure that you always keep that flat back. Your tummy's in, down and across. Those arms are just swinging lightly, also warming up through the shoulder joint. Make sure you're sweeping with your inner thigh here, so turn your leg up slightly and sweep it across, down and across. 4 more, starting to breathe already. 3, across, 2, and last one. Now we're going to stand with our feet turned out. We're going to come into a curtsy lunge and sweep our knee up. Curtsy lunge and sweep. So this is a bit of a balance challenge. I know it's a little bit mean first thing off the bat, but try. And if you can't, then why not just bring your foot in like this? Or hold on with one hand. So we're warming up our obliques as well as our lower body, because we're going to be doing a nice standing abs exercise later on, where our knee's going to be coming up like this. 4 more. 3, just floating the arms again. 2, and last one, exactly the same thing, other side. Up and back. You're curtsying behind, hinging forward slightly from those hips as you come down. I'm trying to get my back knee quite close to the ground, but you don't have to go super low as yet. Down and up. Bring that knee up high, feeling your waistline engage. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Now we're just going to cross and come down. Cross and come down. If you want to, you can switch which arm is going on top. So I'm sitting down in a squat and I'm pulling my elbows behind, leaning forward slightly as I squat. Once again, protecting my knees, squeezing my glutes on the up. 6 more, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And finally, hinging forward, arms are together. We're just going to bring the leg up and sweep the arms out to the side, behind and up. Tummies are in, squeezing your glutes as you raise up and squeezing your shoulder blades together, getting them ready for all of that upper back and shoulder work. 6 more, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Okay, so now we're going to need our step, our ankle weights, and one set of weights. So I'm going to be using my medium set of weights. I'm going to bring it over to this side. We're going to be stepping up on this side. So just put your ankle weights on, put them both on. Make sure they're really nice and secure because we will be using them from this point on. So I like to make them pretty tight so that they don't move around, because sometimes when they move, it can be a little bit painful on your ankle bones. So nice and tight, and twist them in such a way that the buckle isn't cutting into you at all. And we're going to pick up our weights. We're going to come on top of our step, and our weights are just going to remain by our sides, shoulders down and back. We're going to come down and lift our leg. Down and lift. So this is the exercise. You're squatting, and as you come up, blow out all the air and lift the leg directly to the side. I want you to try and keep your legs straight. Okay, think straight behind the knee. If I go too fast, you slow it to your comfortable point, but it still needs to be challenging, right? So I'm coming down quite low each time so that I know I'm maximizing those results in my glute on that supporting leg. Are you starting to feel that yet? Breathe out on the raise. Down and raise. Once again, hinging at the hips with a flat back. 6 more. 5. Get low. 4. And 3. 2. And last one. Now put the hand weights down. Up to you if you're flexible enough to do this. By putting your hands down on the step, we're just going to do tiny little lifts to the side, up and down. So you're shifting your weight between the two legs, bringing it up, tiny little up, remaining with the weight in the heel of this leg. If you can't do this, maybe here. Don't put your weight on the knee, just on your thigh, and out and in. Only a few more. 6. 5, get it high. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Awesome job. Now we're doing the same thing but on the ground. So I'm going to use my lighter set of weights. I've still got my ankle weights on. So this time we're going to come down and raise up, and we're just on the ground. So now that we're not elevated, I want you to sink lower. It's down and raise. Down and raise. Maybe touch the ground with your fingertips, but all the time keeping that back flat as you come down. Down and raise. Remember, straight leg. Maybe a little bit higher. Low to high for the heart rate. Up. Breathe through it. Blow out at the top. Really nice. Kneecap to the front at all times. 6 more. And up. 5. 4. And 3. 2. And 1. Now only if you can, heads of the weights down, weight in the heel, bend this leg, and it's up and in. Up and in. If you can't do this, once again, just here. Maybe hold on with one hand. Up and in. Squeeze up. If you're down here, you're going to feel both legs equally. Really lift. Outer thigh sculpting at its best. 6. 5. Come on. 4. Breathe out at the top. 3. 2. And 1. Nice job. So we're going to the other side. Exactly the same thing. We're trying to take minimal breaks here because that's the way we're going to burn the most amount of calories, okay? So get up on your step, and we're going to have our shoulders down and back. Knees are slightly bent. We're going to come down and raise. The first few are always going to be to get your form, and then once you have it, I want you to think about low to high. Weight in the heel, pushing you off that step. Hinge forward, flat back. Breathe in, breathe out. The leg that's lifting, kneecap is to the front, and it's super straight. You need to come to the point where you feel your outer thigh squeezing at the top. Breathe. Down, long. This is challenging, but if you've been following my workouts, you know that these compound exercises work. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. So safely put down your weights. If you want to, and only if you want to, put your fingertips on the step, bend both of your legs, and we're going to bring that leg out and down. Out and down. So choose your pace. If you need to slow it down, you can. Try to keep all the weight in the heel of the supporting leg, keeping your body centered over that knee. Minnie, no. She's attacking my sofa because she knows that's how to get my attention. Keep going. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ouch. I'm sure you felt that. Next, we are going to our light weights, and we're starting from the top. Are you breathing yet? I totally am breathing a lot and sweating. Summer temperatures here in Australia. So we're coming down and we're raising. Now, once you have this, you might want to touch the heads of your weights down or fingertips down, keeping a flat back and raising all the way up. Breathe out on the lift, kneecap to the front. I'm going to keep reminding you of the form pointers because as we get tired, we tend to stop thinking about all these things we need to be doing, like holding your belly button in, super strong to protect your back, looking in front of you and not curling your neck. Long necks here. 6 more. 5, slow it down if you need to. 4, sink low. 3, come on. Last one. Now if you can, hinge forward, weights are down, knees are bent, it's out and down. Out and down. Slow and controlled. As you bring the leg out, you want to focus on pressing the weight into the heel of your supporting leg. Out and down. It doesn't have to come up high. See how I'm not coming up that high at all, but I'm feeling my outer thigh. Blowing out the top. 5 more. This is tough. 4, I'm really feeling my supporting leg. Are you? 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. Okay, you need your step again and keep your ankle weights on. So the leg you just worked is going to be the resting leg. I mean, we kind of worked both of them, but the one that just moved, we're not going to use. We're going to put it up on the step. Now I want you to position yourself so that your leg is on an angle and it can touch the floor. So you might need to put a mat on your surface depending. I'm going to come down on my forearm. I'm going to turn my leg so that my inner thigh is up to the ceiling. You might not be able to touch all the way down, but you want to be coming lower than the step. That's the whole point of the elevation. So we're coming up and down, simple. All the way up and past the line of the step. You might need a few goes. You might need to reposition yourself a few times. Try to keep your chest forward. It's going to turn up a tiny bit, but I want you to pull your tummy in because you're using your core here to keep you stable on the step. Up and down. Really nice. Blowing out in the up Feeling that range of motion, yes? Feeling it all the way. Try to get that leg in line with the other knee. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to keep it down, sweep it front and in. Front and in. So you're going to lift it slightly as you sweep it, but make sure it remains below the step. Up and in. So it's from under to up. You're slightly coming up here and then back down. Come on, keeping that inner thigh to the ceiling is the key here. Are you feeling that? 8 more. 7, try to keep your upper body stable by using your abs. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now come down and we're going to bend press as our last exercise at this level. Bend press. So you're still slightly angled down and you're feeling that inner thigh burning like crazy, yes? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Guess what? Same thing without the step. Move your step, come down onto your elbow, or if you prefer, all the way down. That's a possibility for you as well. I like to stay up here because it engages my waist a bit more. Tummies are in. Leg is to the diagonal. This one's just supporting and you're coming up and down. Up and down. So now you kind of get a millisecond to rest at the bottom. Don't do it. You're tapping and coming up. Don't go like this for 5 seconds and then up. You're going to lose that contraction in here. A few more. So we didn't get rid of that ankle weight, we just used less elevation. That's the way to make it slightly easier. Maybe if you want to continue to make it really tough, bring it up higher, all the way up. Tummies are in. Shoulders are not slouching, push out of that shoulder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keep it low, sweep it out and in. Out and in. Remember to really turn your inner thigh up to the ceiling. If you're doing this and your kneecap is kind of more on an angle up to the ceiling, you're not going to get your inner thigh as much. You need to really turn it out as if your leg is hovering just above the ground and never changing the angle. You're keeping that same angle all the way to the front and in. 6, 5, 4, no slouching, 3, 2, and 1. And last thing, keep it on an angle, bend press. Press. So the press is a complete extension, a real straightening behind the knee. Hover that leg up, it's not down here, it's up off the mat. Press. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Same thing, other side. So set yourself up again. Now you know what to expect. Other leg is up. If this is not working for you because you're much taller than me, then you can put the other leg on the mat, okay? It's not really an issue. The main point is that this leg has got that extra elevation, and we're just going to come up and down. So once again, position yourself. Try to hold your tummy in here and keep your chest more to the front rather than turning up to the ceiling. So it should be further to the front, maybe 45 degrees. Getting your leg up, almost in line with that back knee and then back down. So you might need to shift around a bit in order to get that extra depth. Okay, you want to get below the height of the step. And if you're too far back, that is going to inhibit you from doing that. So you want to be quite close to the front of that step. All this talking, I'm hoping, is distracting you a little bit from the burn. Probably not, right? Keep that inner thigh up to the ceiling. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from here to the middle. So it's sweeping almost like a little arc. You're coming up and down. Up slightly as the leg comes here. So you're really lifting a tiny bit, which will activate that inner thigh so much more. This is super duper hard work for your core, trying to stabilize you on this step. So make sure you're helping yourself out by holding your tummy in really strongly. Push out of the shoulder, don't slouch. 6 more. 5, really big sweep. 4, inner thigh always up. 3, 2, and 1. Now here, bend, press, press, press. So you're still low. Oh my goodness. This side seems to burn more for some reason. I think it's because this is my weaker side, but I'm trying hard not to cave. If at any point you just can't do this with the ankle weights, take them off. No shame in that. Come on. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Moving your step out of the way. Coming back into position. Leg is slightly forward on 45 degrees. Push out of that shoulder, neck is long, it's up and down. Blowing out on the up, all the way up. Up, up. Feeling that straight away. Don't worry, you know you're gonna make it. You made it on the other side. All the way in line if you can. And if you're down on your elbow, it's gonna be a little bit easier. So choose that option before you stop. I just don't want you to stop. Okay, just try. Even if you have to do half time and do 1 every time I do 2, that's fine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now it's front and in. Hovering off the mat, not just dragging your leg over the floor, okay? It's only your outer thigh that's connecting here. You are trying to keep it up, forward and in. Keeping that inner thigh up at all times. Don't go like this and turn your leg. Okay, see how I'm turning my knee? Don't do that. Keep it the same. Front and in. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last little thing, and then we're done with lower body. Bend, press, press. It's a tiny bend and a big press, big extend. Keep your leg up, straighten behind the knee. Bend, press, press. 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't drop it. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Guess what? I'm going to give you a tiny little stretch. So that you can lengthen that out. Breathing. 1 more deep breath in. Okay, we're moving on to upper body. So you're not going to need your step, but you are going to need your ball if you've got one. Just move your step out of the way. Starting with bicep curls with your heavier weights. So we're going to grab our weights and then we're going to come down and incline. So you can actually sit all the way with your butt on the floor, or if you prefer, you can slightly come up. I'm keeping my ankle weights on, even though we won't be using them for our upper body segment, just because I don't want to keep taking them on and off. So make yourself comfortable here. Depending on if you have your butt down or up, press the back of your arms into your ball, and all we're doing is incline curls, up and down. Now as I come down, I'm slowly controlling it and I'm not extending my arm all the way. There's always a micro bend in my arm and I'm blowing out at the top. Up and down. Really think about lifting but also pushing and pulling. So you're pushing on the way down and you're pulling on the way up. So you're lowering with control. You're not just allowing your arms to fall. Control it down and pull it up. Down and up. A few more like this. And then we're going to change it. Go for 8, 7, 6, all the way up and down, 5, 4, press your back into that ball, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to the top, and we're going halfway just for 8. Down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come all the way down and halfway up for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All the way up. Now come down with the weights, and this time we're going to sit on the ball. So we're just going to use it as a chair, nice and comfy there. And we're going to be doing a shoulder exercise. So we're going to bring our arms by our sides with our palms facing the back. And I want you to roll forward so that your arms are pretty much under your shoulders. We're just going to come up and down with upright row. So all the way up to the armpits, bringing your elbows in line with your shoulders. It's blowing out at the top, up. Try to keep a really tall spine. Tummies are in, neck is long. 8 more like this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax for a second, maybe wiggle with your shoulders. We're going to come halfway up. Okay, so from halfway all the way up. So bring your arms to a bent position and then up from there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come all the way down just to halfway for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice job. So we're changing now to our lighter weights. So grab your weights, put them by your support. Choose again how you want to elevate this. Maybe sit all the way down for this one just to see what it's like. As long as your ball is not going to kind of fly out from under you. Let's try it. In this case, if you're all the way down, your arms are going to hit the floor, which means you might want to come out a little bit more to get that extra length. So we're going to come all the way up and down. So now that I'm sitting with my butt down, I'm going to press my back into the ball, and I'm going to make sure that my knuckles hit the mat each time. Slightly in front of me, more in line with my outer thighs, so that I can still get that almost full extension. These are lighter weights, so we can go a little bit faster, but make sure your form is still perfect. And if it's too fast, slow it down. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to come halfway up and then all the way up. So come to the halfway point, all the way up and halfway. 2, 3, 4, squeeze it in. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now all the way down, touch your knuckles to halfway for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome job. Put the weights down. We're going to sit up on the ball, so make sure you're safe here. Sitting all the way up on top of your ball. Take a second to have a breath and maybe have a drink and towel off if you're sweating all over the place. And we're going to come into that shoulder exercise. So sorry, palms to the back. Make sure you're rolled forward so that your arms are pretty much underneath your shoulders, and we're just doing that row. Upright row. Squeeze your shoulder blades at the top. Blow all the air out and squeeze it up. You're bringing the heads of your weights towards your armpits. Your back is flat and straight. Your shoulders are pressed down in opposition. You're extending all the way, but once again, not dropping those arms, controlling on the way down. 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for a second, shake out your shoulders, coming to the halfway point and then up. Breathe, come to halfway and tap your armpits. 2, 3, 4, squeeze. 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down to the halfway point for 8, and we're done with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic job. Put down your weights. You don't need your ball. So just shake out your arms for a second, maybe rotate, then to the front. Okay, now we're going into the next upper body grouping, which is going to be a bent over side lateral, and we're also going to be doing a push overhead on an angle. I'm using my medium weights as my heaviest set, then I'm going to drop down to my lightest. So with this one, you want to have nice soft knees, you want your shoulders down and back, then you want to hinge at your waist, pushing your butt out, okay? Bring your arms down and then roll your shoulders back into place. Keep your neck long by looking in front of you. And from here, we're just going to go out and in, out and in. Slow and controlled. Now that we're leaning forward like this, we're hitting more of our upper back. So I want to squeeze the shoulder blades at the top, blowing out all the air. Squeeze. Squeeze. You want to hold your belly button in tightly here to have a nice flat back. And looking down at the mat, don't crane your neck to look at me, just keep going until I tell you to switch. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to come a little bit more upright. So instead of being like this, we're going to come to this angle. We're going to bring our hands by our shoulders, look in front of you and push overhead on an angle, all the way forward. Keeping your back flat, your legs are nice and bent. This is tough. You're reaching in front, almost like Superman, extending your arms almost fully, and really controlling it in. 8 more. 7, come on. 6, 5, 4, slow down if you need to. 3, 2, and 1. Super ouch, those shoulders. Switch down to your lighter weights, we're repeating that. We're going to do a slightly different rep pattern. Get back into position, hinging forward. Arms are forward, shoulders are down and in place. We're going to go 2 quick, then a staggered up, staggered down. Again, 2 quick, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Squeeze your shoulder blades each time. Up and up, down and down. Our muscles are already fatigued. So you're going to feel this no matter how you play it. If you need to drop the weights, drop the weights. 1, 2, up and up, down and down. This is your option. Bend your arms. Up and up, down and down. 6 more. Up, up and up, down and down. 5. I know it seems like a lot of reps, but they're light weights. 4. Up and up, down and down. 3. Come on. Up and up, down and down. 2. Keep squeezing. Up and up, down and down. This is the last one. Up, up and up, down and down. Oh my goodness. Maybe rotate slightly. Get that lactic acid out of those shoulders. We're going back to that slighter hinge with our arms up, and we're going to do 2 fast, then we're going to go 2 and 2. Are you doing it with me? 2 fast, 1 and 2. 1, 2, up for 2, back for 2. Like Superman. Up for 2, back for 2. This burns already. Up and up, back and back. Keep your back flat. Forward and in. Forward and in. Just 4 more. I'm going to be merciful to you. Forward and in. 3. Forward and in. 2. Come on, grit your teeth. Forward and in. Last time. Forward and in. Oh my goodness. Arms, arms. Okay, swing that for a second. We're going to standing abs. Now I'm going to hold on to one of my medium weights and I'm going to keep my ankle weights. This is how it's going to look. Turn your feet out and you're going to soften your knees. So your weight is going to be in this leg, in the heel. We're going to bring our arms up and we're going to bring our leg up and bring our knee to our thigh. And this is all it is. You are rotating down, trying to connect your outer thigh and your elbow. Rotating. The more you bend into it, the more you feel that oblique. This is a balance challenge to the core. So if you find this just awful and you're wobbling all over the place and can't even lift your leg off the ground, hold on with one side and maybe just put the weight in the one hand like this. Putting the weight in both hands and rotating down makes it so much harder to balance. 6 more like this. 5, squeeze it. 4, bring your leg up high. 3, breathe. 2, and 1. Now, if you want to, you can just use one weight for the next one or use no weight at all. We're just going to change it slightly. So put the weight back in your heel, shoulders are down and back. Your hand is up here, you're only using one hand this time. We're going to go 2 quick, and then 1, 2, down 2. 2 quick, and then up for 2, down for 2. 2 quick. You need to still bend into it. See how I'm really reaching over? Up for 2, down for 2. Try not to fall over, but it's okay if you do. No one's watching, hopefully. Maybe your cat. 1, 2, up, up, down, down. Maybe hold your hand out. Get a chair if you need to. Down, down. 4 more like this. Squeeze. Up, up, down, down. 3. Breathe. Down, down. 2, and feeling those obliques. Last one, and up, up, down, down. Did you feel that in here? I hope you did, because I definitely did. Same thing other side. So feet are in a turnout position. Soft knees, weight is in this heel. Shoulders are down and back, arms are up. Bring it up. The first few are always going to be wobbly. You're blowing out as you bring your knee up and that elbow to touch your outer thigh. Come on, squeeze it all the way. You need to lean your uppers to your lowers and bring your lowers to your uppers. There should be enough of a lean to feel the stretch in the opposite side. Up, up, come on. You can do this. Blowing all the air out, thinking about whittling the waist. 6 more. 5, lower with control. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that, pick up your lighter weight. Decide what you want to do with your hand. This is actually my less wobbly side, so I'm going to try and keep it at my waist. So we're going to go 2 quick, and then up, up, down, down. 2 quick. Bend into it. Up, up, down, down. Don't slack off. You need to make it even. Quick, and up, up, down, down. Keep going. If you need to drop the weight, do it. If you need to take off your ankle weights, do that. Down, down. 4 more. Up, up, down, down. The slow ones really get you. Up, up, down, down. 2 more. Up, up, down, down. Last time. And up, up, down, down. Nice job. Okay, we've got our last core grouping. We're going to sit on our bench at the very end. Then we're going to use our weight and we're going to place it in front of us as a marker to lift our legs over. Then we're going to come into a sit, so a C curve, blowing all the air out, and sitting back on our tailbone on the very edge. We're going to start with our feet at the front and we're going to lift over and over, okay? Come with me now. Lift over and over. Lifting your legs maybe to 90 degrees, tapping down lightly, and then other side. Over and over. Now, if you want a challenge, you can let go. Maybe ballerina arms. Tap it down. This is great for your hip flexor as well. So your knees are coming up and in, up and towards the chest. Come on, this is your last grouping. Let's do 6 more. 5, 4, get it up high. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're losing the elevation, but we're continuing on. This time we're going to put the weight down flat because I know you're tired like me and we might not want to lift quite as high. So we're still going to have our hands behind us. Shoulders are down the back. Blow out all the air and curve your chest slightly forward. We're going to lift up and side, up and side. You are still bringing your legs up and in and getting them to 90 degrees. Up and in, up and in. Come on. All the way up and down. Try not to rest for too long. I know it's super tempting just to leave your legs down there for a bit. If you want, and only if you want, put your arms in front. Using your core. Up and down. Come on, this is tough, but you are tougher. We're nearly done with this. The last reps is what counts to shape those muscles. 8, you can do this. 7, legs are coming to 90. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, you are done. High five. I don't know about you, but my hip flexors, the muscle in here, is absolutely killing. So I'm going to take off my ankle weights. We won't need those, and we're just going to stretch it out. A well-deserved stretch. Move your weights out of the way. And I want you to come down onto your tummy. Breathe in, and then push yourself up, blowing out all the air. Just come to your point where you feel the front of your abs stretching. Oh, that feels so good to stretch that. A few deep breaths here. Then come all the way back down, and I want you to grab your foot and bring your heel to your glute. Now, once you have this, if you can, lift your thigh up. You're feeling that stretch in the front of your thigh. And then put that down, and other side, bring your heel in, squeeze that in, and then lift up your thigh to intensify. Now, only if you want to, grab both, push in towards your glutes, then press into your hands and raise yourself up. So you're raising your front and your legs off the mat. Then come down, then push yourself into a child's pose with your knees separated and bring your armpits down towards that mat. Breathing. Then come up, and we want to bring one leg in front and stretch that forward, really feeling the hip flexor of that back leg, lengthening. That feels so good. And then just come to the back and straighten out that hamstring. And come forward and back a few times, just slowly stretching, maybe a little bit lower. Back, one more time, front and back. Front and back. Nice job. Now sitting down on your butt, bring your heel up onto the opposite thigh and chest towards that leg. Feeling your glutes and your outer thighs and your hips stretching. That feels really good. And then just straighten the bottom leg, bring that leg across, hold onto your knee, sit up tall and turn to the back. Nice job. Now we're doing that to the other side, so come into that runner's lunge, really wanting to lean forward there, stretching the back hip flexor. And then coming into that hamstring stretch and doing a few dynamic motions from front to back. Maybe getting a little bit lower in that hamstring stretch each time. One more front back. Back. Then sitting down, bringing your leg in front, bringing your ankle on top of the other thigh and pushing your chest towards that. You don't even need it closed. You can probably feel that stretching here. Just come to your point of stretch. Don't overdo it. And then straighten that leg, bring the leg across. Really nice and flat through the spine and twist to the back. Long neck. Then just come into a cross-legged position. Bring your arm across and lean your head to the side. And then other side, across and lean. That feels good. And then for the biceps, just stretch that out. Feeling your forearms here as well, other side. And the shoulders deserve a little bit more. So put the front of your hands against your lower back and push that and really sit up nice and tall with a flat back, feeling all this area here opening up. Now interlace, push up overhead, side to side, then out, interlace behind, pull up at the back, look down in front of you. And that is it. Thanks so much for joining me for double burn ankle weights. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you at the next workout.